Sign up to the SBR Network and use your free daily bet points to earn real-world prizes. Click on the page and start winning now.
Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the first episode of a brand new show that we're doing. It's called Oddly Enough, and we're just going to take a look at some of the events that have gone on off the field in the sports world and discuss how they might impact possible betting value in the future. So, we're going to do this with a guest, and if we have a guest about odds, about odd occurrences off the field, who's the oddest guy we have in our stable? Can only be one guy. Swingin Johnson, how you doing? Thanks for doing this show with us.
Loshak, baby, I tell you what, man, I have been counting the moments until we reunited, even though I know you've been cheating on me because I see you with all those other handicappers. But hey, you need your space, and I respect that, Loshak, because you are the cock of the walk, the big kahuna, and as I'm so fond of saying, the Costa Rican Flash. How are you, Mr. Loshak?
I'm okay, yeah. I follow the money. I do what they pay me to do. You know what I mean? They pay me to talk to you, I'm happy to talk to you. They pay me to talk to some nerd about some statistical issues, I'll talk to some nerd. I don't care. I talk about what they pay me to talk about. All right, so this is a pretty interesting show, right? It's called Oddly Enough, and we're going to talk about off-field issues that could impact betting value, and definitely those are factors that do matter. And one of the ones that I actually just this past week, I don't know if this is one of the topics that you're going to discuss, but the Donald Sterling issue with the Clippers, you knew that the game right after that, the Clippers were going to lose against the spread. And you knew that Golden State was a great bet on the next game. So that's a perfect example. These things do matter.
Well, there's no question about that. These people are people.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they have wants, they have needs, they have feelings, and if you ever doubted that for a moment, all you have to do is look at Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
He had that incident, and the confidence, you could just see it drained from him, particularly when he went out and the gallery no longer in his favor. He's no longer the golden child, and in fact, he's the subject of ridicule, and there's no question about it that their personal lives absolutely positively affect their performances on the court and on the field.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll tell you, the one thing that really hits home the hardest, I've forgotten that these are actually people, is when I'm going on the forum and people talk, and we're talking about like betting college sports, and someone reminds us, you realize you're betting on kids. You're betting on a bunch of like 18 and 19-year-old kids, and I'm like, oh yeah. I actually forgot about that for a second.
And particularly in the college game, most of those kids are going to be accountants and salesmen in a few years. So yeah, it's absolutely crazy, and I think that's why, there was a void that needed to be filled, and gosh darn it, SBR filled it.
All right, what's the first topic you want to discuss with us this week?
All right, so the first order of business is the Klan's lovable old uncle, Donald Sterling.
All right, so it is Sterling.
All he wanted to be was a simple cotton farmer, and look at the mess he's gotten himself into. I don't know if you've seen this guy, Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, but he turned from nerd man to Superman, dropped a hammer on our little ball of hate, and the players just friggin' loved it. You could have written the script. The night the scandal broke, it was, they played on Sunday night and got their asses kicked. But it's funny because I waited until that press conference to see exactly what was going to happen. And Silver did exactly what he had to do. And the moment that press conference was over, I said, the Clippers are going to be a great friggin' bet. And they were -7, which I thought was actually a little bit high in light of everything that went on. But in fact, they won the game by 10. So again, timing is everything. You can see a clear parallel from the events off the court to what happens on the court.
Right. So if there's a game 7, game 6 a little bit tricky, right? The Golden State is at home, +1.5. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe they give it to Golden State just so they can come back and get a win at home, knowing that Sterling's gone. If there's a game 7, you think we bet on the Clippers?
Yeah, I absolutely do. There's a kumbaya moment going on. It's us against the world, us against the man, and nobody represents the man like the loathsome Donald Sterling.
And what about the rest of the playoffs? You think that, because of, the way this thing got resolved, maybe there'll be a good bet if they get past if they get past the Warriors, we bet them for the rest of the playoffs as well?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure if we bet them every single game, but I do know that I'm going to be betting them in the series.
Okay, sounds good. And do you have anything else this week that you think is worth discussing?
Yeah, next up is the divorce of Russell freaking
Okay.
Wilson.
All
The
right.
Seattle Seahawks QB. Now, Shaq, with this impending divorce that Wilson has essentially just checked out of the Shady Oaks rest home and into the Playboy Mansion. I mean, they say a man is only as faithful as his options, and oh dear God, does this young man have options? I don't know what it is, Shaq. I just get absolutely giddy thinking about it, even though I personally will in no way, shape, or form benefit one iota from Russell Wilson slamming stunners on a regular basis. I just love thinking about it. You know
All
what I'm saying? So the way I'm looking at this is Russell now doesn't have to think about coming home at a certain time, explaining to the old lady what he's done, where he's been. Now it's party time.
All
The living
right.
is easy. Right, Jack. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the question is, some people just aren't oriented that way. Is Russell Wilson? Because I didn't do much research on this. I haven't read much about it. Is Russell Wilson the kind of guy who's likely to go out and be affected by that, or is he like a very level-headed conservative nerd who's still just going to sort of stay in and take care of business despite the fact that he's going through these off-field issues?
Well, this is where the worlds collide, because I ask you, okay, how's Wilson going to perform after a lap dance at 3 a.m. on game day? Okay, but you got to understand something about Russell Wilson, okay, and his relationship here. He's been tied to this chick since he was about 16 years old, and now all of a sudden, this young man has been emancipated from the chains of domestication, and he is free at last. Free
Wow.
at last.
You actually did your research. So he's been with this girl since he was 16?
Yeah, high school sweetheart.
All right, that does mean something then. That does mean, you might have unearthed something here, Swingin Johnson. I'm thinking maybe we fade Seattle, at least in the
That's
first
what
half.
I'm thinking, baby. That's
think
right.
so?
I mean, I see a total out there on most offshores dealing around 11, and they've got one of the toughest schedules in the league naturally because they're coming off the Super Bowl season. I'm thinking some under action might not be a bad idea because this kid's 25 years old, and he's been chained for a long time.
Yeah.
And I mean that's what I'm thinking, buddy.
Hey, you might have something there. I mean, if you told me that he was a player in high school, getting lap dances in college, getting lap dances when he was 22, and then he got married, now he's getting divorced, I would think maybe not. But if that could be a major life change for this guy since he's 16, the temptations could be there. I think we keep a close eye. I think you're right, man. But Seattle probably will be overvalued anyway because of how good they've been. You might have something there, Swingin Johnson. Great insights.
All right, buddy. It's been a pleasure.
All right, I'll talk to you again soon.